Here we go. Okay, so I'm super excited that you guys are here for the training. If you're catching the replay, feel free to ask your questions in the chat as well, and I can come back and address them. This is something that I have been extremely passionate about as obviously a business strategist. So for those who don't know, I'm a business strategist for female entrepreneurs, helping them call in more time, money, and energy. I also am a luxury retreat host. So I own Reach Retreat, which is, we're going into our 5th year and our 5th retreat in Sedona in November. And I also own some event company. I'm kind of a multi-passionate entrepreneur, but really my main focus is helping female entrepreneurs through masterminds, one-on-one coaching, and VIP days, really be able to master those areas of their businesses. And money is broad, time is broad, right? So we really get specific as to what you're needing in your business. And mastering your money there are so many different facets, but one of the most important areas that I feel is lacking with a lot of clients, and a lot of you guys coming into LCG are sharing like what you're struggling with in your business right now. And it's either like prospecting, bringing in new clients, being able to expand your audience, your platform, expand your revenue, like all of it really coming back to obviously money, but also being able to have systems in place to be able to allow you to scale and to grow consistently. So one of the things that I'm going to give you today is a tool that you can use, because if we are tracking and we are aware and it's front of mind, it's a lot easier to see the ebbs and flows in our businesses, our blind spots, to see what our audience is interested in. And history teaches us so much in our business. And so when I meet with clients and I talk about systems or strategies, sometimes they think that it has to be complicated. They're like, whoa, like business strategies are just overwhelming to me. And I always talk about like they should be simple. They should be repeatable, right? There needs to be things that you can train other people to do. So when I say systems and I say strategy, it isn't something that's like crazy techie that's going to blow your mind. It's finding systems that support you where you're at in your journey and that will grow alongside you. So this is going to be a resource for you guys that's very, very simple. You're going to be like, wow, but I'm telling you, if you will apply it, it can change the way that you do business and it can really increase your revenue. So the topic for today was master your money by reverse engineering your goals. So I want you guys to tell me in the comments, one, I guess just a little bit about your business. So that way, if anyone's watching, they can kind of get to know you, and also where you're from. So I think it's really neat. I've been seeing a lot of people joining us from kind of all over. So I definitely would love to see that in the chat. And I said, I'm a little bit passionate about this topic because it's essential, right? But also as a business owner and entrepreneur, it is important to have sustainable growth. I talked a little bit about this on my Instagram stories this week about how we just like launch without the intention, and we're constantly launching and we're constantly just go, 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 go. And we don't really have a plan or a roadmap. And so what ends up happening is we are getting exhausted. We're getting burnt out. Our audience is getting burned out. They're not sure what to buy from you because you're constantly changing. And so this is really going to allow you to have multiple streams of revenue. I'm a huge advocate for having multiple ways for people to work with you, but to be able to track it and see what's working at certain times of the year, what people are most interested in, and have a quick, easy overview of that. So having the opportunity to reverse engineer your goals is going to allow you to call in more money. It's going to allow you to call in more time, and it's going to preserve your energy. So it's hitting all three of the pillars that I'm most, excited about. So this is kind of the backbone of a sustainable business, is knowing how to reverse engineer your goals. Now, this is really in depth. Okay. Like the process that I go with clients into really looking at their offer suite, their product suite, what their big vision goals are, what their, big revenue goal is, what their minimum revenue goal is. Breaking that down into offers and reverse engineering it can be a really big process. So obviously I can't go into all of that and uniquely meet you in your business in this way, but I'm going to give you an overview and I'm going to give you some tools, and I want to get your wheels turning as to why it's important. So reverse engineering your revenue goals is a process, right? It's starting with your desired revenue goal and working backwards. So many times what happens with my clients is they get this creative burst. Let me know if you guys can relate to this. But you get this creative burst and you're like, oh, I saw so-and-so do this retreat, right? So I'm just going to run with it. I'm going to create it. Okay. But then what happens is you get into this phase of just creating and pouring all of your energy, your time, your resources into that, but you haven't actually intentionally plan that into your strategic revenue plan. Okay. So I know that again, the word strategic and revenue and all that can seem overwhelming, but it's really not that complicated. It's about looking at the bigger picture. So many times we get this light bulb moment, and I'm all for creativity. I literally have a freak mind where half of it works on the creative side and half works on the strategic. So I have to pull the reins back. I saw Megan hop on and I told her yesterday, I'm like, I don't know if it's the weather, but I have all these creative ideas and I just want to hit the ground running. But it's important for me to look at the big vision and say, okay, if my revenue goals are, let's say 150K, okay, I then have to go in and look at my offer suite. I have to look at all the ways that I'm bringing in revenue and how it can flow money into my business. And then I need to be thinking strategically. When are people buying these type of offers? When do they need these type of offers? What is my audience asking for? Like, as you guys are coming into Ladies Conquering Goals, I'm looking at the problems that these women are answering in their applications to join our group. And when I do the this or that training, I'm usually using those to see what the majority is wanting. Okay, so I shared that on Instagram this week. If you're creating something new, you have to ask yourself those questions. Is it going to make me money? Does my audience want it? Right? Like, it's important to really not just go with this like spontaneous boom idea, but really strategically plan it out. I'm going to get back to my notes because I can end up squirreling on you guys, and I have some talking points I really want to hit on. So first thing, or second thing, I should say, because I already asked you guys to share your business in the comments and where you're from. You can share a link to you guys if you'd like to, but do you have a strategy in place currently to reverse engineer your goal? So I told you, but that looks like is having a desired revenue goal, working backward to identify the steps that you got to get, put into play to get there, and then start with that end goal in mind and work backwards. So do you have that currently in place? Do you know what you wanted to go into? Or you know what? We're in April. So do you know where you want to be revenue wise come the end of December? And do you have a strategic plan right now that's getting you there? That you know that if I create this launch process to put out my one-on-one program, it's going to bring in X amount of revenue. If I host this retreat, it's going to bring in X amount of revenue. If I have 7 website clients, okay, we'll use that as an example for you guys who are website developers, I'm going to bring that in, or this many digital product sales. Like, if you do have a plan like that and you've really thought it out, definitely share. I'm looking in the chat. Okay. So the thing is most of my clients do not. They are established business owners. They are fairly successful. Some of them have teams. But when I go in to look at the back end of their business, they're just kind of in this creation constantly and just putting things out. Like, what's that analogy? Like throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping that it sticks. And I do believe that there is so much power in being intuitive and like listening to our gut. But I can tell you, after 7 years in business and also, 5 years of supporting female entrepreneurs in business, that when they have a game plan, they have a roadmap, they know what their next steps are, it's night or day. And it doesn't have to be crazy complicated. So the next is that I want to hit on is that your revenue expansion plan, I'm calling it that because I love the word expansion, should include strategies for increasing the revenue, such as expanding your customer base. So maybe when you're looking at that, you're like, wow, I actually don't have that. I can't think of 10 women that would actually attend this retreat. So it's really that strategy behind, are you able to really see people coming in that are already in your warm audience and taking that bite? Next would be, it should be increasing your prices. It could bring up some of the need to do that as you're looking and you're like, okay, time versus revenue. In order to hit those goals, I have to have either a new offer that's created or I need to do a price increase. Also, developing new products or services is a process, right? But it could really open up an idea like, okay, I see my revenue is a little low in August. What can I do to really strategically plan for that? And I'm about to give you guys a visual so you can kind of see this tracker that I'm going to give to you that I think will help you see how my brain works and how I'm able to track it based on offers. And then once we kind of have that clarity, okay, everything really starts with clarity. Almost every time I speak or do a training or I'm on stage or any of those things, I talk about clarity because that's so many times where we're missing the gap. We're just spinning our wheels and burning out and getting frustrated because we don't have the clarity of where we're headed. So next would be implementing, okay? This is the next step is like, once we have that framework, we have to really combine strategy discipline, and persistence, you guys. A revenue growth plan should include those action steps, those timelines, those deadlines. And again, like I said, this is kind of an overview. I can't really go into like your specific business in this type of setting, but that is something that I do with clients one-on-one. And next is measuring and tracking. And that's what I'm going to give you guys today, is I want to give you an opportunity to kind of get in momentum, to really even see what it would look like. I think once you start to implement just this little tool into your business, you're either going to see those gaps of where maybe we need to take action, maybe we need to create new revenue, maybe we need to increase our prices. It's going to help you with that clarity. It's going to let you see where your profit margins are. It's going to help you really be able to have an overview of what areas are needing your attention. And so reverse engineering your goals, again, starts with that knowing, that clarity piece of where do I want to be with my revenue and how can I reverse it back by offers. So I'm going to screen share real quick so you guys can see this. I hope that this is helping you guys really just kind of see that so many times we're just kind of shooting in the dark. Megan says, when we did the framework at Reach Retreat together, it really helped me. I needed 2 website clients, 3 branding clients monthly to meet my goal. Yes. And so I'm actually going to show you guys something. Megan knows I've been kind of working behind the scenes on something that isn't quite ready, but I want to show you guys as a peek because there's a formula and a strategy that I work through with clients in the early stages of me being their one-on-one coach. Sometimes it happens in a mastermind. Sometimes it'll happen at the retreats. It just depends on how specific I can get. Always one-on-one is always best, but I use a framework that I use in my businesses that I use with my clients that have been able to allow them to surpass their goals, have allowed them to have their best month in business. I shared about Megan Rogers having the largest month in her business in 5 years. And so I wanted to figure out a way to extract the way I do things and put it into a system. So I'm going to show you guys that at the end, but I'm going to screen share this little tool for you guys. Okay. Nothing crazy, pretty simple. I want to make sure on my screen you guys can see it. So if you can't, holler at me in the chat, but okay, it popped up. Perfect. Okay, so I don't know. It's a little bit blurry on my screen, so I don't know if it'll look that way for you guys. I'm checking out the chat here. No, it looks good. Okay, so I'm going to gift this to you guys. I'll put it in the chat now so you can grab it. Okay, the top link that I shared is this free revenue tracker. The second link right below it is if you guys want to do a free 20-minute strategy session with me. These are always open to you guys for those who are interested in having me as a strategic partner in your business. So only book that if you're like very interested in what it would look like to have me as your partner and your COO to the CEO in your business. So here is the revenue tracker. So if you click that top link, it'll ask for your email. It'll automatically send the download to you guys. And I'm going to show you this based on kind of examples in my business. So on this left side column, I have Throckmorton Events, which is my event company, Reach Retreat, my Elite Accelerator Mastermind, my one-on-one clients, VIP days, workshops. Can't tell you guys what this one is yet because it's top secret, referrals, and other. Okay, so I want you guys to get these. First, make a copy. I put it at the top. Whenever you get the file, hit file, make a copy and save it as your own title so we don't see all your information on this sheet, okay? But what I want you to do is to be able to track it based on offers. Now, you can get really specific if you guys want to and list it based on clients, and you can make this a really long list. But what I am hoping for you guys is for you to be paying attention to what you're talking about on social media, right? What you're putting out there, what people are purchasing, and think about it. Come January 1, when you're ready to roadmap your next year, you're going to be able to see like, what are people in my audience asking for versus what I'm talking about. A lot of times we sell what we put out. Okay. We sell what we're putting out into the universe. And so it's really important for you to know, one, what are your highest profit margins that you want to be selling and attracting into your business? That's a whole nother topic. But whenever you are getting revenue within your offer suite, I want you to be logging it here so that you can see by month what revenue is coming into your business by which avenues. Again, you can create like a little copy of a spreadsheet down here if you want, and you can track it by client, which is what I do in my personal business. I like to see not only which clients are buying which product, but also what other funnels they're going into. It's really neat to see the life of a customer and a client in my business. So I don't know if this is helpful for you guys. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm looking. Oh, good, Megan. I'm glad. Okay. So this will be a gift to you guys. I want you to go in and change it based on your offers. And it's funny because I just did a one-on-one session with Suzanne Wade. She's in my mastermind. She's in our group. I did a in-person with her today, and we went through and we found out she had 11 streams of revenue. So if you guys are like, wow, one of the things I want to do is have multiple streams of revenue, or I want to have a referral program. There are trainings in this group that are free that I've done on a lot of those topics, so that these trainings are condensed and specific, and they're usually around 15, 20 minutes or so. I don't know where we're at yet. Yeah, about 17 minutes. So I try to keep these short and sweet so you guys can take action on them. I always say it's kind of my signature. You can intend all day long, but intentions without action are mute. So this is just a tool for you to use to track it. Again, you need to know the bigger vision, right? What is my end goal with revenue? Okay. Based on my offers, based on my launch strategy. These are things I work with you on, right? Like, I know I want to sell out. I want to host 2 retreats, right? I knew I wanted to do 2 retreats in this calendar year. So in order to do that, I had to map it out. Okay. I know I wanted to do the mastermind, so I needed to map it out. This helps you really get a good overview of what you're wanting to, or where you're wanting to go and how to get there. And so just take a few minutes, guys. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, and work on reverse engineering it based on your offers. So this is what I want to show you guys. Okay. So you're the first ones that are getting a little peek. I did a physical copy, which it has a little clear cover, so it's kind of catching some light there. But I have actually taken, okay, this is going to be Money Mastery Workbook. It's going to be my formula. It's already in here. I just got to do a couple more tweaks before I actually make it live. And I'm going to do a couple in-person workshops, I think, as well. But this is the actual system that I use to go fully through the process that we're talking about. And so in the future, this will be rolling out pretty soon, but I wanted to show you guys, like, this has been a labor of love for me. I taught it in Costa Rica, and have made a lot of tweaks and adjustments to it. And this is like the big in-depth process that I go through with my clients on the money aspect. But this is something here that needed to be said and shared in the group, is if all of you coming into this space are saying, I want to have, you know, more clarity. I want to have more consistent clients. I want to be more mindful of my time that I'm spending on social media. It all starts with, like, why are you talking about that product anyways, or that offer anyways? And strategically planning it out, and also paying attention to what your audience is buying from you. If I said, what's your number one thing that clients are buying from you, and you're like, oh, it's my website build out full design package. And I'm like, okay, what are you talking about on social media? What are you doing on those parts of your business? Like, that's all I'm talking about. Well, you have 8 other streams of revenue. So are we doing some back end stuff? We're doing some email marketing, like what areas of your business are bringing in money, and let's track it. And I think as you're doing this and you go check out some of those past trainings on multiple streams of revenue, passive income that I've done, you'll be like, wow, like there's a lot of spaces that maybe I'm missing or I'm lacking that would allow me to hit those goals. But you got to have something in front of you to strategize. You have to have some data, right? Like, you need to know what's working in your business and where you're headed, or you're just going to continue to spin your wheels because you're not planning it out strategically. You don't have the tools to support you, and that clarity is key. So I hope this was great. I hope this was helpful for you. Feel free to ask questions as it relates to your business, guys. My DMs are always open. If you want to have support from me in your business this year as a strategist, you have the 20-minute free link to chat to see what it looks like. And I think that's it. So I'll post again in the next week or so, like which training we might want to see next. I'm thinking we need to do either another hot seat coaching or maybe a guest expert. I've done a lot of our last trainings, and I think it'd be fun to bring in another expert. So let me know if you guys have any topics or suggestions that you guys want to hear and that you want to kind of put on my radar. And I love you guys. Thanks again for always showing up. I really appreciate this group and this community, and let's keep conquering those goals together. Bye, you guys.